doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is a brand new week. We are locked, we are loaded, getting ready for, let me just turn the music down here a bit, getting ready for all the fun we might have on the market. I mean, I don't know if you had enough red light therapy from the market, so I felt like I had to give you a little bit more, you know, like just looking at charts and watching red all day from the market wasn't good enough for me, so I had to put more red in front of your face. Boy, oh boy, what are we witnessing? The volatility, the moves, the opportunities, people making insane money on the market, people losing insane money on the market. So it is just absolutely wild at the moment. Shit's going absolutely batshit crazy is how you can put it, I guess. At one point you had a positive news. Let's start off by saying it that way, right? It started off by looking like a positive news that tariffs are going to get extended to 90 days and everyone but China. So that popped up the market. That turns out to be a fake news. That drops the market right back. Eventually market kind of just stabilizes, does nothing, and just, you know, trade sideways. It's a big buyer and a big seller fighting between each other, and each time it goes into VWAP it holds, each time it pops up it gets sold off, and it's just a constant battle. And in between that battle you had a very news driven cycle and scare the whole time too. Oh my god, is the news going to come out and make it go this way, or is the news going to come out and make it go that way? So lots of scare across the board and fear, I guess, is the word I should be using. But boy, oh boy, did I have fun trading today. I had a pretty good day for myself. I had a decent day. I shouldn't say pretty good day. I had a decent day for myself, and I'm very much excited to see what other opportunities the market has in store for us coming up for the rest of the week. So far the month is off to a decent start. Excited for the month. You know, my losses have been very tiny. The days that I did lose, I was damn near flat slash break even, a little red slash break even on those days. And the days that I am winning, I'm making a lot more than what I have been for quite some time now. So looks like a little shift in my P&L, which is actually very surprising. You know, given the current market volatility, given the current market environment, it makes sense that I'm making more money. But you should also be losing more money when you're wrong on the days that you're wrong. So it looks like I'm making better decisions. I'm losing less on trades that I usually lose a lot on. And even if I do lose on some of my trades, I'm able to stay resilient, stay strong, and to look for the next opportunity to kind of hit a home run. Not a home run, not really, but the next best trade to participate in, and then make that money back, and then claw my way back to break even. So the opportunities right now on the market is just insane, and that's the trader's market, right? That's the trader's market. So if you did have a down day today, one thing I will say is you know, don't beat yourself up for it. It wasn't an easy day, trust me. I know a lot of people who were right on the day today. Don't beat yourself up for it. Tomorrow's another day, and there's going to be lots of opportunities. With the volatility currently high, we're gonna get insane ranges. You're not gonna need to take a lot of size. I, for example, got a really good trade today, but I didn't have any size on that trade. However, without having any size on that trade, that ended up being my biggest trade of the day. So just goes to show, if you just participate in the right instruments, you just end up making crazy amounts of money because of the volatility that there is at the moment. So let's head on to the full screen, show you guys my trades on the day, and then we'll prep a little bit for tomorrow. No real watch list I have even ready for tomorrow. I think I'm just going to focus on the ETFs and the Magnificent Seven like I have been for today, and that's all we're gonna basically talk about, with a sprinkle of a couple earnings names. So let's head over to the full screen over here, take a look at my trades on the day. So decent green day. Woke up a little late because I was playing Schedule 1 all night, and honestly I might play that game again later on at night. That game's a little addicting. It's very fun, but we'll try to get in some sleep early. So focused on VXX, UVXY, VXX, those are the volatility instruments, and then focused on China names. China number one. So let's talk about some of these trades today. Starting with VXX, as I said, didn't have too much size on this, but because I was in the right name at the right time, and with the volatility in the market, was able to really get a home run on this trade. Sadly, I got out just before it halted. So that sucks to be me. Really screwed up on that trade over there. But the halted and drops much lower. That would have been about a $10 per share, $11 per share winner down there had I not gotten out the way I did on these names. I mean, I just saw how much I was in the money, and I said I need to take profits, or you know, I'm gonna beat myself up if this pops right back up. I'm gonna really be angry if this goes back up all the way. So taking profits on the way down, and then sadly not having any size left for that continuation right down. So taking that opening range breakdown, this is right as that news drops. So QQQ, S&P 500 have an insane flip from red to green. They pop up. I think what QQQs end up going up 2% or more at this point. So insane drop down. VXX unhalts itself, and then you have the news is fake, this is actually not true, and everything else negated completely. Markets pull back, and then obviously VSX pull back. There's a bunch of spots where you could have possibly re-entered on these names, such as QQQ, or on S&P 500, or on VXX, UVXY. But because of how choppy the news was, and even though the news was basically fake, the markets didn't really flip back over, right? QQQ was holding VWAP, S&P 500 was holding VWAP. So as the markets didn't really flip back over, I didn't want to gamble at all by participating more in this range at all. So just waited, and the resolution I was looking for never really came out, and I just stayed away. And I think honestly that is the best decision I could have done, because I could see myself giving back a lot of money in that chop. Before I talk about PDD or BABA, let's actually go to FXI. So right as that China news comes out, where I get a big trade on VXX, right? Monster trade on the VXX opening range breakdown. Someone in my office, I think it was actually my manager, he reads out the news and says, you know, everyone but China is exempt from that 90-day tariff extension. Obviously, news was fake, but it doesn't matter, because if the news at that moment was negative against China, what was China doing? BABA was going up. Pinduoduo was positive on the day. So I instantly pulled up FXI, noticed that FXI had this pop on the day, instantly piled into that short over there, taking some profits on the way down. And this is where I kind of ruined it for myself. I got back into the trade, but I added it in such a weird way where I didn't really have a setup. So when the stock immediately popped back up, I just got out for a flat and I stopped looking at it. And then literally couple minutes later, was it like 5-10 minutes later, we have another news coming out from Trump himself this time, which is actual news. And this news is that what is it? He's going to now add an extra 50% tariffs on China. So this was everyone but China, fake news. This is real news. We're going to put 50% tariffs on China. At this point, I wasn't even looking at FXI. I was looking at a couple other different names that I was trading. And I was really pissed off that, you know, this news comes out after I'm in the trade, after I'm done with the trade. So the stock drops to the downside. Now I'm waiting for a pop. It pops into the 9 EMA, I believe, on the 5-minute. I don't remember if this was the 9 EMA or the 21 EMA. Pops into the 9 EMA, gives me a good little short opportunity without having to risk too much. I wait for that failed pop. You get that pop and then immediate stuff back down, so I get short. But sadly, it looks like it has like a failed breakdown of this low, so I quickly get out of these pops and should have added back over here. The reason why I didn't really take this breakdown is because it was a 200-day moving average over there, so I didn't want to take that breakdown. Instead, what I decided was, why don't I go take that opening range breakdown on stocks directly instead of taking that breakdown on FXI. Let me go do that on BABA. Let me go do that on Pinduoduo. However, right here, this was again, I think 9 EMA on the 5-minute. I could have gotten in on that pop. That's kind of second chance scalp also. So there was a little window here to get back short for that second leg down, which I had to let go. However, I was able to capitalize on that using Pinduoduo. So Pinduoduo has that flip back under VWAP. You can see how it bounces above VWAP. That's the news move. It pulls back to VWAP and then it gives you a beautiful flush right back down. I get scared of most of my size here, but I'm able to hold some size to the downside. Later on, as this area tops out, this is again 9 EMA on 5-minute. Waiting for that area to show me some resistance, getting short, looking for the leg 2. Leg 2 never came in. Thankfully, I had a stop out for previous 5-minute bar highs. And previous 5-minute bar high triggers me out right as the stock has a news catalyst again, right? One more news catalyst comes out. This time I can't remember what this is. way too many news catalysts throughout the day. But another news catalyst comes out for China, and at this point I get stopped out of Baba and Pinduoduo at the same time. So here's Baba, same idea as Pinduoduo, taking the opening range breakdown. As I said, I didn't want to take the FXI breakdown, so instead I quickly looked for Chinese stocks that had the breakdown pattern. So taking that opening range breakdown, taking that second chance scalp, and then giving back some money, a little bit money, more money than I should have over here was given back. That trade was a keystroke. I don't really understand still how I got into that trade, but after I got into that trade, I didn't really punch out. I was trying to make it work, and I lost a little bit more on that than I should have. I think if I didn't try to make that work and instantly cut that loss, this would have still been a decent winner for me. It is a decent winner for me on the day. After that win, there was like a couple losses here that were avoidable. I think one loss here makes sense, two losses here doesn't make sense. The third loss was just a keystroke, but I tried to turn it into something, so that ends up being the 3 losses over there. Eventually 3 losses, and stop looking at it, at the name for me. That's my rule, so I just stopped looking at the name completely. Probably the best thing I could have done there too. So that's the China sector. Most of my money just comes from that 3 trades right there: VXX, FXI, PDD, and BABA. So made my money on VXX, and then kept my money and kept building on that money through Baba, FXI, Pinduoduo. Couple scalps to add to the day. As the market had a lot of back and forth, it had a little drop below that low, but then it popped right back. So as it popped right back, I got long, quickly scalp, basically took the 500 long. So as it went back through 500, got long, was able to scalp 501.50, was able to get 503.50, and then got stopped out on the way back down. That's a small little win over there on the S&P 500. Didn't really have too much size. Another small win over here on SPXL. I basically move over to SPXL because I get stopped out of SPY here, right? So after I get stopped out of S&P 500 over here, I watch the market go back up, and I'm a little frustrated at this point. I'm like, oh, come on. So they basically flushed me out, flushed out a bunch of buyers, flushed out a bunch of sellers, and now they're gonna pop it back up. That's amazing. So I waited for them to show me a pocket to hold above these little 2 highs, and they actually managed to show me exactly what I want to see. So I slip in a bid and I get filled, looking for that move up, taking that quick scalp on that pop, and then getting stopped out on the last few shares. Another profitable trade over here. This one actually was negative for me for most part of the day, but later on in the day I turned this stock positive by taking that breakout of 98.50 for a quick little scalp into 99.50 area. Was looking for a move into 100, but don't really end up getting that. Was looking for this move on Apple that Apple actually ends up giving me, but my manager kind of has a very valid point. So he said, you know, Apple might still be in problem with tariffs with China and so on, so you might not really want to look for the long on Apple as you might want to look for it on Nvidia. So I think he had a valid point there. So as soon as my manager brought up that point, I'm pretty sure he brought up that point because I got long on this name. So as soon as he brought up that point, I immediately said, okay, valid point. I'm just gonna take my flat exit. As soon as I take my flat exit, the stock goes up $2 per share in the money. So that felt great. But no, it's okay. I'm not gonna cry about that one. Last but least, this one we got SPXS, which is 3 times leverage ETF or 2 times leverage ETFs, S&P 500 to the short side. So shorting this basically means I'm looking for the long on the market. You know what happened. The market basically chopped around, and I'm very glad that I chose this instrument instead of directly going and doing it on the S&P 500, because I was able to take more size well, basically when you do the math and the ratio, they all come out to the same thing. but because of our software, our broker, we have a minimum share size. So if I take those minimum share sizes on S&P 500, I won't be able to scale on my trade, and that's why it's much easier to do so on SPXS over here, which is a less a lower notional value, much more liquid than an S&P 500. At the end of the day, if you are looking to give it the same amount of risk value, you got to do the ratio calculations and see what the ATR ranges are to figure out what the actual ratios are. So overall, didn't really lose much. My only loser on the day over here, red name, only 1 out of 9. I'll take it. 1 out of 9 red names and a pretty decent start to the month so far. I'll take it. No complaints at all. Praying for more of these days in the future, more fun, more excitement. Here's a name that I actually missed out today. JNVR, my buddy Bear. This is actually the guy who messaged me on Discord, called out this name. Boy oh boy, I was looking to get long right on this breakout of 34.35, but the stock was actually halting on that breakout, so I didn't get filled on any size, sadly. So missed out on a monster move into $48. So from 35 into 48, this guy actually said he was gonna get into the trade a little bit earlier for that breakout, and I think he made the right decision by doing that boy oh boy monster move on JNVR that I missed out. Had I been in this trade, I think that would have been my best trade of the day today. All right, that, ladies and gentlemen, is my trades on the day. Now, as I said, for tomorrow, the watch list is not really existent. I mean, it really doesn't matter what the watch list is, in my opinion. For me, for the most part, it is just going to be the large cap. Apple, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, Google, Nvidia, Tesla, QQQ, SPY, IWM, Dow, VXX, UVXY. UVXY's borrows for our platform today were ridiculous. For 100 shares, I think it was how much was it for 100 shares on our platform today? Let me go find that screenshot really quick. Pretty sure it was 160 bucks for 100 shares. Was it? For 200 shares, it was 160 bucks today, whereas VXX was only 2 cents for 100 shares. So what the hell, UVXY? Why are you charging an arm and a kidney for this shorts over here? Anyways, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Nvidia, Tesla, QQQ, SPY, IWM, Dow Jones, VIX, UVXY, SOXL, SOXS. I don't really need to separate them like that, but I'll just leave them just to have that reminder, that mental reminder. What else do we need over here? Palantir, SNCI, do we really need these? I guess if the market really has like an up day, we could potentially look for Palantir to bounce. I know a lot of people are looking for Palantir to have a pretty good reversal back to the north side and looking to invest in Palantir as it's holding up better than most of the other large cap stocks. You see how it's above the 200-day moving average still, as the market, all of those markets, QQQ, S&P 500, IWM, Dow Jones, all markets are below their 200-day moving average by a big number. You still got stocks like Palantir holding up, so I know a lot of people are looking to throw their money into Palantir the second the market has a bounce day. So we don't know when this bounce day happens. Is it now? Is it tomorrow? Is it 3 months from now? Is it 6 months from now? My dad asked me today, when do you think the buying opportunity is gonna come? I'll be honest, I bullshit a number and I said 3 to 6 months, but I hope that is true. But you know, the best way to do it is don't be early. The best way to do it is don't try to be first, don't try to be a hero, don't try to be early. You can always catch the dip when the buyers start to actually present themselves and the market's not in such a fearful state, when we're not in such a headline driven market, when the orange man is just slapping Trump tariffs across the board left and right. You know, you got headlines 1 second coming out saying no more tariffs and the next second saying it's fake news. So in a very headline driven market like this, you just got to be very careful, because you're gonna get wiped out if you're wrong, especially if you're using margin. Okay, especially if you're using margin. You can't be using margin in environments like this to swing. You're asking to get blown out if you're wrong. Okay, I know Marco, I just see Marco in the chat. Marco said, can you take a look at HIMS? I'm not sure there's really a day trading opportunity for me on HIMS. And if there are any opportunities, I think it's still going to be on the overall market. You're seeing the current volatility, the current ranges on the market. QQQ now at a $14 ATR. Look at the volume on the QQQ. Biggest volume candle you'll see for a really long time. Okay, last time QQQ had volume like that was apparently 2022 in January. So lots of craziness. Just trade the overall market, trade the overall. I'm talking about a day trading sense, right? This is a day trading show. I'm not an investor. I'm not a what's it called, portfolio manager. I can't tell you how to invest your money. I'm just looking at stocks that I like to trade tomorrow. That's all I'm doing. And when I'm doing that, I don't think HIMS makes that cut for me. Next up is Hood. Hood does make that cut because it is in that cryptocurrency basket. It's also in that financial basket. XLF, for example. XLF takes a beating when the market is not looking so good. You got BAC moving to the downside, JPM moving to the downside. Name a bank and it's going to the downside at the moment, right? Pick any bank, pick a bank, any bank, you got it, it's to the downside. So Hood obviously being in both the businesses at the same time, which is cryptocurrency and financial business. You got, I guess you could say, in one way best of both worlds, but in another way worst of both worlds, right? You can have cryptocurrency crashing and market possibly correcting itself and going back higher, but Robinhood will now be struggling because crypto is going lower, and then vice versa. Crypto is going higher but the market's pooping itself, so maybe Hood's not really taking that much of a beating. So it's really, it's kind of now the magical stock that's all now going to be in play every day. You know how Palantir was in that basket, or still is, I guess. Palantir is in that basket. It's a super stock in my basket because it trades so much volume every single day, has a good ATR also. Robinhood is basically joining that basket of stocks at the moment. ATR of what for this one? $4.22, and it's trading about 70 to 50 to 80 million. Let's kind of round it down a bit. 50 to 80 million shares on a day-to-day basis. So I like it. I like it for a day trade. As for levels, I think you know, this is also very market beta-ish. I don't actually know what the beta is for this stock. Let's go take a look at it. And I also forget, I'll be honest with you, is the closer the beta, what's beta? Is the closer the beta to 1, the more the stock moves in relation to the market, or is it closer to 0? What is the number that I think it's pretty sure 1, right? So beta 1 is overall market move, and the closer it is to 1, the more the stock moves according to the market. And with the 2.15 beta, that's not too far out. For example, if you go to Palantir, this is at 2.6. How about MSTR? I just want to find a stock that's really far out. I'm pretty sure it's 1. Is there any stock that's less than 1? 2.08 for Nvidia. 0.95. There is less than 1. So Does that mean Microsoft is more beta than Apple? The reason I'm laughing is because alpha, beta, it's like you know, one of those Wall Street bet terminologies. Made me laugh real quick thinking about it. I forget which one it is. Is it closer to 1 or closer to 0? Either way, hood, you can see how it's pretty similar to the overall market at this point. You can't argue with that one. Also keep an eye on what Bitcoin is doing. I think Bitcoin cracked over the weekend, and then it's now trying to stabilize again back over that 78k, trying to get back above the 80k marker. Let's see if it can do that. You know, if it gets back above 80k, I think it goes back into this 86k area. But if Bitcoin's going back here, then I'm pretty sure that's because the market's going back up too. So potentially just copycat doing the exact same thing the stock market is doing. I don't see much difference, much divergence happening in either of those two at the moment. So I just wait patient. I know some people, I'm not gonna call your name, think it's gonna be divergent, but no, I think it's just gonna follow the market at the moment. If the market poops, I'm pretty sure crypto's pooping too, and if the market props up itself, I'm pretty sure crypto's going back up at the same time. I know there's some stocks that reported earnings today, but they didn't even move. Like they did not even move the needle by the slightest bit. So Dave & Buster's, PLAY, and the other one was, I'm trying to not cheat by remembering, Dave & Buster's, okay, I can't remember. I've been talking non-stop for like 30 minutes. I can't remember. Levi's, yeah, not even a name that I'm interested to trade tomorrow. Walgreens, which is a earnings name, earnings name, but it's also a buyout name. I'm pretty sure Walgreens is getting bought out for like $11.40 or $11.50, something around that price. Tilray reports tomorrow, pre-market. This one could be important. WD-40, WDFC, if it has volume in the pre-market, I'll take a look at it. But besides that, I think as I keep saying, the focus is just on, ooh, look at that. We got banks reporting Friday, so earnings season right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. Delta Airlines, Constellation Brands, and then we got banks reporting on Friday. And I love how they're setting up earnings season these days. They're a little bit more spread out, and as one's ending, we're moving to another one. It's just a constant cycle. I love what they're doing these days. But yeah, you know, as for tomorrow's important names, there's nothing going to beat the overall market volatility. VIXX, let me just quickly go to my better chart. Holy, I really have that many drawings on there. VXX, obviously on watch. UVXY, another instrument, same thing, same idea. Apple, Amazon, if you just go to regular trading hours, 60-minute charts, and then map out your levels from there on out, you can just look for supports and resistance. Maybe I'll just delete some of my lines because we can repaint them after. Okay, so Apple looking for that little box at the moment. The box is honestly a little bit tighter. You could even say somewhere down there, somewhere up here, and then all of that is just honestly wicks. So this box over here on Apple, I'm looking to see how that plays out. I will, however, mark that for myself. Amazon, oof, okay, that's a pretty tight box on Amazon. So if we can get above that, I don't see how Amazon doesn't start to make a move back into 184, 185 area. So what is that? 178. So you're basically playing over 178 on Amazon. And on the same idea, if Amazon then gets below 170 tomorrow, you have almost a no-brainer short. So possible dip buys into 170, possible breakdown below 170 for a big short. into whatever that is, 166, into 161.38, and then above 178 you have a possible move into 184, 185. So Amazon looks like one of the cleaner names to potentially keep an eye on if it is at my levels that I'm interested for. So 170, under 170 I got 166, and then I got 161.38 slash, I'll just do 160. Resistance, we're looking at 178, and then I'm looking at 184.40 slash 185. Inflection for me will be 178. Obviously this changes depending on where the stock is, either 178 or 170. So idea is if stock is above 178 and holding, market is strong too, could see stock going to 185 area. If stock is weak below 178 on pops and market is weak, look short for a move into 170. If stock is holding 170 and market is looking like looking bullish, could look long here. If stock is weak below 170, look short heavy if market is also weak. All right, so quick little notes over there. Really like the zones that we have on what is that, Friday? So that's Friday's zone, that's today's zone. Right off the open, I'm not sure exactly, opened 160, so we opened at the downside, we ripped to the upside with the overall market craziness, and then kind of nullified it by just trading sideways and the overall craziness that happened, basically trading in the exact same box that we were trading on Friday. So you can see how the Friday seller is selling in the same area, the Thursday seller is selling in the same area, but the Friday buyer is also stepping up in the same area. Friday's VWAP ended up being today's VWAP, so Friday's price is today's price. At this point, you can kind of use that VWAP midpoint as your flip trigger too. You can use that as your under over, but I much rather just make the decision at this bigger inflection levels for me at 178, at 170, and then 166, 161. I'm not really making decisions there. Hopefully I'm making decisions here, and then, you know, taking profits into these moves to the downside. Meta, very similar to our friend at Amazon, but the only downside I have with Meta is the liquidity. So you know, Meta doesn't trade insane amount of volume for a Magnificent 7 stock. I mean, you can take a look at the volume here. It's actually trading a lot better volume at the moment, yes, but for a $500 name, it's only trading 36 million shares. So that kind of turns me off on Meta completely. Microsoft, Google, they're just way too close to the market, that at which point, if I do want to trade them, I can just go trade the market, right? It doesn't make sense for me to bother with either of these names. I don't think there's a A++ setup that's just kind of standing out in your face like Amazon was, or even Meta is actually a better setup than both of them in my opinion. But I'm just not interested in either of those names. Like I said, if I want to trade those stocks, I'll just go trade the market itself, and I'll just go lose on the market. I'm okay with that, but I'm not okay with trading Microsoft and Google and losing on those, because I don't have a profitable setup. I don't have a profitable game plan on those names ever. So I'm just gonna ignore those. Going to Nvidia, very simple on this one. Friday's high, you got the kind of an Amazon pattern over here too. So Friday's high, Thursday's area. Friday's VWAP is today's VWAP, so if it does look weak below today's VWAP, which is around 95, I might make that decision on Nvidia but not on Amazon, because Nvidia is just one of those super stocks, right? Hundreds of millions of shares traded for a $95 stock now. 600 million shares traded today for a $95 stock, and if I do want to make that quick hasty decision, I think I'm doing that on this one. Look at that. That's pretty surprising. So Friday's VWAP 95.21, today's VWAP 95.43. That's going to be my under over flip, but like I said, I'm not going to do that same game plan with Amazon. Inflection level 95. Okay, last Friday plus yesterday VWAP. If stock looks bullish above 95 and market is strong, get long, baby. If stock is below 95 and can't get above, could look short, but only on pops, no breakdowns. So the idea behind that is, look how extended we are to the downside, right? A little extended. That today's pop kind of wipes away the extension, and now it's giving it some breathing room to get smacked down even more. So potentially you could take breakdowns, but I'm not looking to take breakdowns. Okay, I think it's a little extended to take breakdowns at the moment. The market's a little extended to the downside too. This is I think a history record breaking 3-day down move on the market. I much rather short pops. It's just me. I much rather short pops. So 95 under over is the idea for Nvidia tomorrow. Tesla. Oh baby, that is a much cleaner chart. So if Tesla actually gets below what is that, 224, 225, you got a possible move into okay, we might have to repaint some of these lines, mainly because we got too many. So delete. I don't need you anymore. Delete. You used to be there. You still stay here, I guess. Okay. You stay there for now. You stay there for now. And that's basically today's low. Do I need to mark that? I don't, because my indicator is already gonna have that marked for me. All right, and what I want to see now is that. So that is what, 224. You got a possible move into 214. So that is going to be some possible room, because once we get below this 218 again and 214, and if the market actually looks scary and weak, that could be a big short right there on Tesla. So inflection 224. If stock can get below 224, look to get short for a move into 218 or more. All right, 218, 214 or more. That's Tuesday, March 11th. Tuesday, March 11th. All right, I'm very excited about this one. This daily chart looks good too. So a little back and forth, and then a breakdown, and the market looks bad too. Ooh-wee. Let's see what happens with Tesla over there. And then we just got the overall market. So at this point, I don't think I really have to say too much. There's a lot of theories floating around. I'm pretty sure I've said it quite a lot too, about the overall market. You know, lots of scare, lots of uncertainty, lots of fear. We never know what Trump is going to say at what point, so you got to make sure you're using tools like Benzinga, or any new service that you have squawk in if you're day trading. If you're not day trading, if you're swing trading or investing, maybe just using Google can help you out on that side. But if you are day trading like I am, you want to make sure that you're listening to squawk. Without that, you are asking for pain. Trust me, I get saved so many times because of squawk. Random news that I hear before I'm able to read about it, and I'm able to jump into those trades earlier than some people. I'm able to get out of those trades earlier than other people, and that saves me a lot of money, that makes me a lot of money. So just got to be quick to the game, right? As a day trade, speed is very important, so make sure that you're using the right tools. If you are interested in using the same tools that I do, I can get you a discount for it. Use my link below in the description. 10% to get Benzinga off, Benzinga Pro. You get 10% off by using my code. A couple other softwares that I use over here real quick: Flash Research, Trade Ideas, and Trader Sync. Go check out the links down below in the description. So quick notes about QQQ. Could it go higher? Yes. Could it go lower? Yes. That's just the environment we're in. We just don't know what it's gonna do. I know a lot of people are expecting a big bounce. If I quickly head over to my good friend Valkyrie, who I suggest you guys should go follow on Twitter, or on Substack, whatever you guys follow it. This is a pretty interesting picture that I found on his Substack that he posted recently. 2-day decliners of 10% or more from 1953 to 2025. Those red dots are 2-day declines of 10% or more. And each time the market's done that, you can see how it goes on pretty much the next biggest bull rally ever. And we just had a 3-day decline on the market. Well, I shouldn't say 3-day decline, because the QQQ was green today. The only markets that were red were the other 3 markets, right? So the three biggest red day decline the markets ever had, I guess we'll just use the S&P 500, right? Is 8%. You almost had a 10% recently. We almost had, what is it, 12%. So if that is the generational bottom, the generational dip that these statistics are predicting, there was a little bit more downside after that. You can see how that had a little bit more downside. That's the 2008 crash. That potentially had a little bit more downside, and the market was a little choppy. But notice how you have quite a bit of a time before things start to pick back up. So you don't have to be early, but you will be able to get some good prices and still be profitable on the long run if you do it right. So just be patient, and because of that, I think a lot of people are actually waiting to buy these dip areas, waiting to buy up stocks that are holding up in good prices. For example, Dollar Tree, right? A name that's very much affected by tariffs, but it's not willing to get below the $60 area at all. It's simply not willing to get below 60. So if Dollar Tree gets above $80, guess what it's gonna do? Absolutely blast off. So I'm looking for that long opportunity whenever that comes into play. Or even when it breaks to the downside, I have an alert on either direction. You have Palantir that I mentioned not too long ago. Shopify possibly in that. You possibly could throw it in that basket of list. There's a hood in that basket of list too, in my opinion. There's a bunch of stocks that I'm scouting, I'm hunting, looking for. Telling my parents basically to buy them on their retirement account so they could retire quicker. Walmart, Costco, so all the good companies basically, right? Microsoft, Tesla, these companies are always worthy to put your money in, but it's all about timing in the current environment. And what is the fear and greed index at the moment? Let's go take a quick look at that fear and greed index. goddamn, I had to type it like 10 million times over there. It's still at 4. Oof. Still at 4. All right. So, as I said, we could get a double green day with the volatility that we had. I think we could see an inside day tomorrow. It's not hard to expect a lot of these stocks to be stuck in today's candle. Today's candle is gigantic, right? That's a $33 move from top to bottom on QQQ. Whereas it's a $40 move. Wow. Yeah, so near $40 move on the QQQ today, where the ATR is 1485. So, you know, it's hard to expect the market to go out of today's ranges, at which point just wait near today's high, wait near today's low. Look for how the market plays around these areas. Wait near today's VWAP. Look to see how the market plays around this area. You can apply that same logic on a bunch of names, and I actually told you a name that I'm going to be doing that pretty much, right? NVIDIA, wait to see what happens around 95. You possibly got a long up to 100, 101 if that works out. If it starts to be weak around 95, then you got a possible short back down to 87, at least to $90. Either way, you possibly will be risking $1.50 at the best, and you might get a $5 move on either direction for profit on NVIDIA if you play around the $95 area. If you play around the $100, $101 area, you might be able to get a move to 95 or another $5 move to the upside if the market's bullish enough. If you play around this low area, you might be able to get a long 2 VWAP or a long 2 VWAP and more. Otherwise, on the flip side, you might get the short on the breakdown from today's low to a bigger move to the downside because the market's weak. So just by looking at NVIDIA, there's like 5 different trades that you can set up around the key levels of today's VWAP, today's low, today's high, and then just depending on what the market's doing. You don't even need to focus on any other name tomorrow as a day trader. You got 600 million shares happening over here, and you got tons of opportunities that could be setting up. So just a quick idea, you know, not financial advice at the end of the day. I might be honestly focusing on a couple names that are not even on here, which is the China sector is still in the gutters at the moment because of the tariffs. An extra 50% tariff slapped on these names, so I might be focusing on shorting these names more, just like I was today, especially if we keep getting more reciprocal tariffs. What if China overnight comes out with more reciprocal tariffs on top of your 50? We're gonna tap another 50, and it's just the big tariff war. 1, 2, 3, 4, I declare a tariff war, and that's basically what we're getting. Okay, nothing else to talk about besides that. Really quickly, I actually got to talk about something, forgot about that. We got to talk about what is the econ calendar tomorrow. We got 3-year bond auction note at 1 o'clock, FOMC member at 2 o'clock, and nothing else besides that. That's surprising. I'm pretty sure CPI is this week, isn't it? Yeah, CPI Thursday. Woo, baby. That should be a fiery event. So CPI Thursday, nothing tomorrow other than, I guess, the 3-year bond auction. And yeah, the market could easily do nothing for the next few days. Nothing tomorrow. Wednesday goes absolutely crazy on the FOMC meeting minutes. Maybe it's a nothing burger event, but Thursday 8:30 it goes absolutely crazy is where I think what we get some fireworks. So nothing burger, some action based on maybe Trump comments tomorrow and Wednesday, and then CPI we might have fireworks. So I'm going to try and contain myself, not give back the money that I made in the last few days. So just try to protect your profits. You know, if the market slows down, you don't have to force trades. Just wait for when market picks back up again, and just wait for the right levels. Wait for the right levels. Wait for the right inside day tomorrow for sure, no doubt about that. And if you wait for the right levels, you get some good trading opportunities. So patience is the name of the game. On that note, I'm going to start playing the outro and wish you guys the best of luck. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more trade recaps and for what to watch for the next day. Good luck. TraderPrad out. Peace.
TraderPrad, he's here, here. TraderPrad, he's here. As a trader, trade like that every single day. Playbooks, monster moves on the QQQ, monster moves on Nvidia and other positions too, all across the board. Magnificent 7 also had a pretty good day on themselves today, so pretty good moves across the board. Tech basket get destroyed. Get ready for trade off of. Get ready for the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here. Back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day. So let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.